Thank you everybody for coming out. We got Pitt in the building.
Hey, Pitt.
We got CMU. I know we got a couple CMU people here.
Shout out to CMU.
Thank you guys for coming out to our yard show. Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated was founded on Tuesday, December 4th, 1906 at Cornell University in Ithaca, New York. They were founded by 7 men who we affectionately refer to as our Jews. Alpha Phi Alpha was the first.
What?
I said the first.
I can't.
I said the first.
Okay.
Intercollegiate fraternity founded for African American men. The 7 men who founded it were pioneers. They were innovators. They were risk takers, and they were revolutionaries. These are their stories. Jules Henry Arthur Callis was a practicing physician and professor of medicine at Howard University. He was the only Jew to be general president of the fraternity, and he was also the last Jew to enter our beloved Omega chapter, which is reserved for deceased brothers in 1974. A Phi A Step.
Jules Charles Henry Chapman was born 1870. As a professional, he went into higher education, studying and teaching at Florida A&M University in the field of agriculture. He was also the first of our beloved Jules to enter into our Omega chapter in 1934. A Phi A Step.
Nathaniel Allison Murray. He did his undergraduate work at both Cornell and Howard University. He then returned home to do his graduate work in education. He later became a teacher. And then he founded the Mu Lambda chapter in Washington, D.C. He entered into the Omega chapter in 1959. A Phi A Step. Jewel Eugene Kinkle Jones was a student, an activist, a brother for the people. He earns his master's degree in sociology from Cornell University. He then became the first executive secretary for the National Urban League. He spent the next 20 years of his life boycotting and fighting big business so that he could break down the barriers for black employment. He spent the entirety of his life exemplifying manly deeds, scholarship, and love for all mankind. He was solemnly inducted into the Omega chapter in 1954. A Phi A Step.
Joel Berlowitz and Tandy was the first registered architect in the state of New York. He is responsible for initiating the incorporation process of Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated. He was the Alpha chapter's first treasurer and is responsible for designing our fraternity pin. He was also the first African American man to pass the military commission exam. He entered our Omega chapter in 1949 at the tender age of 64. A Phi A Step.
George Biddle Kelly was born on July 28, 1944. He studied civil engineering at Cornell University, and he was the first president of Alpha Chapter. He was also the first registered African-American male engineer in the state of New York. He entered the Omega Chapter in 1962. A Phi
was born in Washington, D.C. He studied agriculture at Cornell University and served as the first secretary of Alpha Chapter. He also proposed the fraternity colors. Later on, he went to serve on the U.S. Senate of Committee of Appropriations before entering the Omega Chapter in 1936.
All right, brothers, that was pretty cool. Decent. Gave these people a nice little history lesson real quick. They got to see a little bit of stepping, and I do mean a little bit of stepping. But I really think it's time we gave these people what they really came to see. Do y'all want it? No, I said, do y'all want it? All right. We came to represent the We came to represent the party! We came to represent the A! We came to represent the A! For A step! Ice, too cold! Ice, ice, too cold! Ice, too cold! The black and gold! Ice, too cold! Ice, ice, too cold! Ice, too cold! The black and gold! 1906, 85A! 1906, 85A! 1906, 85A! 1906, 85A! 85A! The black and no gold! 85A! We too damn cold! 85A! The black and no gold! 85A! We too damn cold! I got no single! I got no single! I got no single! No, 85A gold! I got no single! I got no gold! I got no single! No, 85A gold!
Excuse me, but we got something to say. We are the Ice Cold Brothers of 85A, and we've been this way since 1906, and ever since then, we've been stepping like this. Ice Cold! Ice Cold! I said 1906! Who you with? Who you with? Who you with? Ice! 106! Turn it up! Ice! 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 Ice!
Well, now we're not quite done here, if all of you will bear with us for just a moment longer. First and foremost, we, the brothers of the Omicron chapter of Alpha Alpha Fraternity Incorporated, would like to extend our thanks and our warmest gratitude to each and every one of you who have come out this evening to support. On this day, we celebrate the founding of our beloved fraternity and the brave men brave enough to attempt to create this organization in the midst of the overwhelming social injustices and racial injustices that were taking place in the year 1906. We hope that you have all had a little bit of fun this evening, gotten to explore a little bit of Alpha's history, seen some impressive steps. But on a more serious note, for those of you who have not been following the media, now is the time of extreme turmoil and dire crisis in the African American community, in our communities. Incidents like the Trayvon Martin case, the Ferguson decision, and now the grand jury response to the death of Eric Garner have made it painfully clear that we are systematically oppressed in this nation. I know some of you may not believe that this is a legitimate issue. All right, well, permit me then, if you will, to share a few facts that may shed light onto the situation. The following data is collected from years ranging in 2010 to 2014 from a myriad of sources, ranging from the Center for Disease Control and Prevention, the FBI, the Stanford Law Review, and the U.S. Bureau of Justice Statistics. The leading cause of death in black males ages 15 to 34 is homicide. 93% of those deaths occur at the hands of their brothers and sisters, black-on-black crime in their own communities. But that's no big deal, right? People die and are killed every day. Well, then what about the fact that 1 in 3 black males aged 20 to 29 are currently right at this moment, under some form of criminal justice supervision, be it imprisonment, incarceration, parole, or probation. Furthermore, 1 in 9 African American males between the ages of 20 and 34 will be incarcerated at some point during that time span. But some of you still seem to be unfazed. Consider then that a whopping 40% of reported, that's just reported, by local police departments, excessive force is on black victims and black citizens. And that a 98.9% of these cases are later ruled justified. I'm sorry, this is a very emotional time. It's very difficult to get through this. But studies have shown recently that on average across the nation, 2 black lives are lost a week. That's 2 black suspects murdered in cold blood. That's 96 a year. Look around. Are you beginning to see why this might be an issue? If this doesn't shock or surprise you, or at least make you curious, then by all means, return to your life, go back, study for finals, watch Netflix, and carry on as usual. But if you feel as we feel, if you hunger for justice, if you yearn for equality and freedom for all, or if you're simply too overwhelmed to know what to do anymore, we ask that you join us. Immediately following this, we will be peace marching to Cathedral G8. Once there, we will have an open forum discussion on tangible ways that we, as everyday people, as students, and as American citizens may respond to this crisis. No justice!
No peace!
you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone. We'll be marching.